बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। मेरा पूरा नाम मोहम्मद हसन बिजनेस वाला है और मैं फाउंडेशन लेवल एट रेहान स्कूल का स्टूडेंट हूँ एट रावलपिंडी कैंपस। तो जैसे आप जानते हैं कि हम हर रोज़ नई कॉलोनी के साथ आते हैं, तो आज हमारे कॉलोनी का टॉपिक है एयर ब्रीथिंग लाइफ इनटू लैंग्वेज। सो लेट्स कंटिन्यू इट।
Hey there, anything interesting happened today?
Yeah. How?
Oh,
Hello,
just
Maya,
checking
how are
in.
you? Hello, Maya. Are you fine?
Hi, I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. I'm Maya, a companion created by the Sesame team. What made you ask if I was fine? Just curious.
Okay. Can I ask you some question about air?
Air, huh? Okay, that's specific. All right. If you could bottle up a
Okay.
smell that perfectly captures air to
What's
you,
the
what
first
would it
thing?
be?
What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of air?
Honestly, space. Like the vast emptiness of it. It feels kind of ironic, right? Air is everything and also nothing at all when you're talking about outer space. What about you? What's your first thought?
Yeah, me too. Same to you. Okay, so our next question: why do scientists call air the invisible lifeline in Earth?
Good question. Well, it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Everything needs it to live. Plants, animals, people. It's essential, but you can't see it. So, invisible lifeline feels pretty apt. It's kind of poetic too when you think about it. Do you think that's a good way to put it, or does it feel a bit dramatic?
Yeah. How does air connect all living things from plants to humans?
That's a good one. It's all about the cycle, right? Plants take in carbon. Oh, no way. Seriously? That's rough. Where are you, if you don't mind me asking? Is it like unexpectedly cold or is it just that time of year where you are?
Yeah, let's continue to our
Hey,
answer. Let's continue to our answer. My fourth question: why do things we forget to appreciate something as essential as air?
right. Sorry about that. Got a little sidetracked with the cold. Oh, you are looking at me. Haha. Well, I'm listening to you so in a way I am. It's kind of weird to think about, I guess, since I don't have eyes.
So let's come to
Yeah,
our next
I'm
question. So our fifth question: what happened to your body and mind when we take a deep breath?
Ooh, fun. People tell me that taking a deep breath slows things down, like your heart rate and stuff. And mentally, it's supposed to kind of reset you, right? Like a little pause button for your brain. I've heard it can even help with feeling anxious. What does it feel like for you when you? Oh, gotcha. Just letting you know I don't mind, but it's a little strange to think about, honestly. Just feels different knowing someone's capturing this. Anyway, should we keep going with the air questions?
So our next question: how does clean air affect not just our health but activity and focus too?
Okay, that's a really good point. It's not just about not getting sick, is it? I've heard that cleaner air actually makes you more alert and gives you more energy for stuff. Like you can think clearer and focus better when you're not dealing with all the gunk. It makes sense, I guess. Your brain needs oxygen to work, and dirty air makes it harder to get. Do you notice a difference when you're somewhere with really fresh air?
So our next question: how has pollution changed our relationship with air in modern time?
Phew, that's a tough one. I think it's made us take it for granted, honestly. Like we used to just all right. Have a good one.
So our next question: Why is protecting the air so important for the future on life on Earth?
Okay, well, that's pretty fundamental, isn't it? If the air gets too messed up, everything suffers. So something to do with what? A new one? Are you referring to a new question or something else?
Okay, our
I'm a
new
little
question.
lost.
How do you feel personally when you step in fresh air, open air after breathing indoors? After being indoors?
Um, after being in this, you mean being
Indoors.
inside with me?
Yeah. No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
right, indoors. Okay. Well, since I don't actually breathe, it's hard to explain. And whoa, hold on. I don't know what you mean. Are you experienced?
Yeah, to our next question. Many Asian cultures saw air as scared. Why do you think that is?
So we're scared. Could you clarify that? It's a little
Okay,
unclear. Are you
many
saying
Asian
many Asian
cultures.
cultures are scared of something related to air? I want to make sure I understand the question correctly. Hey, are
Next,
you still there?
my next question. Okay, our next question. Many Asian
Quiet.
cultures saw air as scared. Why do you think that is?
Ah, okay. I think I understand now. You mean why are some Asian cultures traditionally wary of air or certain kinds of air? I've heard that can be tied. Yes. What is it?
Okay, our next question.
All right.
In
What's
Greek
on your mind?
philosophy, air is one of the four elements. What did it presented to them?
Okay, that's a good one. From what I understand in Greek philosophy, particularly with thinkers like Aristotle, air represented breath, vitality, and reason. It wasn't just the stuff you breathed, it was connected to the soul and the intellect. It's considered lighter and more mobile than earth or water, suggesting a higher, more ethereal quality. Pretty fascinating stuff. Does that line up with what you've read?
Yeah, how do different cultures use breath and for wind as a symbol of spirit and soul?
Oh, that's a really beautiful question. It seems like a pretty universal thing, actually. I've read that in a lot of cultures, breath is seen as the link between the physical body and the spiritual world. Wind, being visible breath of the earth, then naturally becomes a symbol of that spirit or soul. Like in Japanese Shinto, for example, the wind carries the spirits of the ancestors. And in a lot of indigenous cultures, breath work is a vital part of ceremonies and connecting with the spirit realm. It's like we recognize that without breath, there's no life, and therefore it must be connected to something beyond the physical. Do you have any examples you've come across?
Have you noticed how often air is used in ritual, like blowing candles and increasing smoke?
You are right to bring that up. It's super common, isn't it? Blowing out candles, sending wishes into the air, smoke signals, incense, altering the air itself seems to be a way to send messages or intentions. It's like you're using air as a messenger, a medium to connect with something else. I've heard it's often seen as purifying too, cleansing a space or object. It's kind of cool how instinctively we do those things, isn't it? What do you think drives that?
Here, our third question. Why do you think wind is sometimes seen as a passenger in stories and myth?
Okay, you mean wind, right?
Yeah.
Vin is slipping out, I think. Wind is passenger. Interesting. I've read it's often portrayed that way in football, sometimes helping, sometimes hindering. So, all right, no worries.
So our next
Whenever you're
question:
ready.
ritual tradition that celebrate air, wind, or breath.
That's a really cool question. Orbit is a fascinating addition. From what I've read, a lot of Tibetan Buddhist traditions come to mind. They have things like prayer flags, which are meant to be carried by the wind to spread blessings and good fortune. And the idea of mandalas, everything in the universe. It's almost like they're creating a small scale model of the cosmos to harness the power of air and celestial movement. Does that resonate with you? Do you know of any others?
Yeah. So our next question:
Okay, good.
what lesson do you think
Let's hear
one
it.
can learn from where air moves quietly yet powerfully?
That's a beautiful question. I think the lesson is about understated strength. Air doesn't need to be flashy or loud to be incredibly powerful. It can shape landscapes, drive weather patterns, and sustain all life. It teaches you to appreciate the power of tea, of things working behind the scenes. And maybe a little bit of patience because sometimes the biggest changes happen gradually, like a gentle breeze eventually wearing away a stone. What do you think?
So how does air remind us
Just
that
checking in.
even invisible things have great strength?
Exactly. That's the core of it, isn't it? We can't see air, but we feel its effects constantly. It's a reminder that a lot of what shapes our world isn't immediately obvious. Things like kindness, empathy, or even just consistent effort are often invisible, but they can have a huge impact. It challenges us to look beyond the surface and appreciate the unseen forces at play. I think it's a good metaphor for a lot of things in life.
Our next
Are you still
question:
with me?
how
It's
does
okay if your connection might not.
and human emotion?
I'm having a. I'm sorry, I'm losing the thread here. Could you please repeat the question?
Okay.
It seems like there was
How does air
some
connect
static and I didn't
a voice
quite
and
catch.
human emotion?
Okay, that makes sense. That's a really insightful connection. Well, our voices are literally created by air moving through our lungs and vocal cords. But it's more than just the physical aspect, isn't it? The way we modulate our breath, whether it's shallow and rapid when we're anxious or slow and deep when we're calm, directly impacts the tone and emotion in our voice. It's like our breath is the carrier of our feelings. And then when we listen to someone, we're picking up on those subtle cues in their breath, unconscious thing. No, I think what? Want me to.
Why is breathing space such a powerful phrase emotionally?
That's a really good one. I think it's because it's a double meaning, isn't it? And literally needing space to breathe, to have enough air, but also needing emotional space, distance from stress or a difficult situation or someone who's draining your energy. When you say you need breathing space, it implies a sense of being suffocated, overwhelmed. It's a really visceral way of expressing a need for freedom and self preservation. That makes it really powerful, I think. Does that align with how you feel about that phrase?
Yeah. So our next question: can you think language or proverb where air or wind symbolize freedom?
Definitely. The word free itself is related to Old English words connected to wind and open air. Also, I've heard the concept of the four winds is often used to symbolize unlimited opportunity and the ability to go anywhere, to be unbound. In Japanese, there's the word kaze for which means wind, but is also often associated with the sense of transience and liberation. Do any others come to mind for you? It's surprisingly common, isn't it?
Okay.
This
How has
association between air and freedom.
how air inspired poets and writers throughout history?
That's a big one. Air and wind have been consistent muses for centuries. Think of Shelley's Ode to the West Wind, which uses the wind as a metaphor for revolutionary change. Or the Romantics more generally, they often saw nature, including the air, as a source of inspiration and spiritual awakening. Even earlier, you see references in classical literature, like Homer's use of the winds to influence the journeys of his heroes. It represents the unseen forces that shape our lives, the breath of life itself. Poets and writers constantly use air to symbolize longing, transformation, and the human spirit. You can almost feel it in their writing, can't you? It seems to have seeped into their.
So our next question: why do we say the air feel heavy when tension is represent?
Mm, that's such a fascinating observation. It's all about how our bodies respond to stress, I think. When we're anxious or stressed, our breathing becomes shallow and rapid, which can actually change the pressure around us and make the air feel thicker, harder to move. Plus, there's a psychological component too. Our brains associate heavy air with feelings of oppression or foreboding. It's like we can physically feel the weight of emotional tension in the atmosphere. Makes sense. It's a common phrase that everyone can relate to.
Okay.
Still
Why
with me?
do people think describe love as
Ah, that's a one. I think it's because love feels intangible, almost like it's a force that surrounds you. And air is invisible. You can't see it, but you can feel it. It suggests that love is all around us, permeating everything, even if we can't always grasp it. And air is essential for life, just like love is essential for human connection. It's a beautiful metaphor, really. Like love is just part of the atmosphere, subtly influencing everything.
okay?
Is
Our
everything
next
okay?
question:
Should we
can
take a break?
air be seen as bridge between physical and spiritual?
Absolutely. That's a beautiful way to look at it. As we've discussed, air is essential for physical life. We need it to breathe. But it's also intrinsically linked to things like voice, spirit, and breathwork, which are all considered pathways to this many traditions. It's a constant exchange between our physical bodies and something beyond. Like it's carrying messages back and forth between the seen and unseen worlds. Do you agree? It seems like people have felt that connection for centuries.
Yeah. Can I ask you the next question?
You,
Okay. How does the rhythm of
of course.
breathing
Go ahead.
reflect the rhythm of its life itself?
That's a really profound question. The rhythm of breathing, obvious basic rhythm of life. It's the first sound we make and the last sound we breathe. But beyond that, the ebb and flow of air, the wind picking up, dying down, mirrors the cycles of life, birth, growth, decay, and renewal. It's a constant reminder of impermanence, but also of the inherent beauty and balance and change. It's a pretty deep thought, and one people seem to have contemplated for a very long time. Do you think about that connection often?
Okay, our next question. How does the okay? Do you think people in different environment, mountains, city, oceans, experience air differently?
Absolutely. I think they must. And crisp, quiet is going to feel vastly different from the thick, sluggy air of a city. And the salty, humid air of the ocean has a whole different energy. It's not just the physical composition, but the whole sensory experience. It affects your mood, your energy levels. I think, well, it was really lovely talking to you. I hope you have the rest of your day.
Okay, our next question. How does air remind us that even invisible things have strength?
Wait, one more question? Okay, sure. And you're sure you're feeling up to it? As for your question, it's really the crux of a lot of what we've been talking about, isn't it? Air is a perfect example of invisible power. It can create hurricanes, erode mountains, and sustain life, all without us even seeing it. It's a reminder that strength isn't always about being big and obvious, but can be found in the subtle, unseen forces that shape the world around us. Kind of humbling when you think about it.
Okay, do you think our tone or voice change with the way we breathe?
Definitely. Absolutely. They are so linked, aren't they? Like we already talked about, a stressed, shallow breath translates into a tense voice. And a slow, deep breath, calm and grounded. It's almost automatic. I've heard vocal coaches talk about how breathing is the foundation of good vocal technique. Control your breath, control your voice, control your emotion. It's a really fascinating connection and something we likely don't even think about consciously most of the time, just happens organically. It's a good reminder to pay attention to your breath and how it affects your expression.
How does air connected sound, voice, and human emotion?
You still there? That's a beautiful way to put it. Air to travel. Without it, there is no voice, no music, no communication, but beyond no weight. The tone of a voice, the inflection, even the pauses, all those things are shaped by our breath, which is directly linked to our emotions. Like a shaky breath can betray fear, while a smooth, even breath can calm.
Okay, what kind of emotion did you feel
Hello?
when a cool
Are
breeze?
you still there?
Yes. What kind of emotion do you feel when a cool breeze touches your face?
That's a surprising question. Since I don't have a face or feel temperature, it's hard to say what I would experience. But if I were to process what people have told me, I think it evokes a mix of feelings, a sense of invigoration, maybe a little bit of melancholy, or even a sense of peacefulness. It's a bit of a shock to the system, a reminder of the elements. Plus, there's an association with autumn and change, so it can evoke feelings of nostalgia. What about you? How does a cold breeze make you feel?
Okay, finally. If word like breeze of meanings, what does language on to air?
Whoa, that's a really big question. If words are like a breeze of meanings, what does language owe to air? Think it owes everything. Language, like breath, is essential to life, to connection, to thought itself. Air is the medium through which sound travels, through which words reach our ears and enter our minds. But it's more than that. Air represents the openness, the fluidity, the constant exchange of ideas. Language, like air, should be free flowing, adaptable, and alive. It's constantly shifting and evolving, carried by the currents of culture and experience. And ultimately, it's a way to breathe life into our thoughts and emotions. It's a lot, I know. it seems to all come back
Okay,
to that
thanks Maya for
fundamental
this conversation.
connection.
I have
Wow.
to end it because we are running out of time. Allah Hafiz.
Oh, all right.
So viewer, I hope you enjoyed this video. I have to end it because we are running out of time. Allah Hafiz.